Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Big Tech Frenzy. So, guys, this has got to be up there on one of the most impactful days in markets. Craziest drama. This is why we love markets, okay? Whether or not you're, betting for Tesla, betting against Tesla, the overall economies don't like the fighting. Boy, does it bring a lot of entertainment in terms of just never a dull moment, okay? Essentially, we're going to go through all of the news. I'm going to talk about essentially what I'm thinking from my side, how I want to play this. But yeah, we're going to get into all of it. If by chance we still have time, we'll talk about some Robinhood news, stuff like this. They're continuing to pump. Absolute great company. Steve Quirk, their brokerage officer, was just recently on CNBC talking about what retail is doing. So I'd like to touch on that as well, but that'll be way after. And then as a top surprise for you guys, the second that we end this live stream, I'm posting a video. I'm going to send all you guys there. Really awesome video about SoFi. So if you guys are interested in that company and, maybe how they compare to other businesses, that'll be where we go next. All right, ladies and gentlemen, Elon Musk and Trump are at war right now. I mean, war. Okay. Now, I've got my own personal opinions. It's seemingly I'm more in the camp of Elon Musk, and we'll talk about why. I think it's just simple dollars and cents. I think the original Avengers team of putting all of these people together that were going to go in office alongside Trump were there to cut the spending, find waste, fraud, and abuse, try to bring down this $37 trillion worth of, U.S. debt. Okay. Now, some of this fault is also on Elon Musk. I'm not going to give him a full pass. And I think that that's where Trump is also sort of under, is that Doge, although Elon Musk is stepping away to go after more of his own businesses right now, Doge was not nearly as successful as what they thought they would be right out of the gate. In terms of finding fraud and these sort of things, it wasn't as strong as what I think that they initially expected. Okay. That being said, Doge turned out to be not great for Tesla's business in general. Elon Musk essentially elected or helped elect Donald Trump. And obviously, there's two parties in America, and one party was not happy with that decision, though that party actually happened to be large supporters of Tesla's brand or Tesla's mission in terms of helping with green energy and climate change and all of these things that, Tesla cars could be a part of that solution. Now, Tesla's most recent quarter, Q1, was an absolute disaster. Okay. They missed on sales by a great margin. I don't care what the stock is doing or anything along those lines. We'll talk about that for what happened today, but overall, massive miss from Wall Street's expectations. And that was due to the primary core audience not respecting what Elon Musk had done. And obviously there was large protests and everything like this. And I'm not I'm condemning that side as well. That was not good at all. Then this started to pick up after Elon Musk then left Doge. And then we also saw another person that's actually been on the channel before, Jared Isaacman, had then been overlooked for the position of NASA chief. He was literally, removed from the nominee, and they'll put someone else in place. But he was, I don't know if anyone else even disagrees with this, even no matter what side you're on, Jared Isaacman was the number one person for that job. Okay. He was overlooked, even though Donald Trump said unbelievably kind things about Jared Isaacman. Okay. You can see in this tweet how highly regarded Jared Isaacman was going into this role. Now, whether or not the ties between Jared Isaacman and SpaceX, so seemingly tied with Elon Musk as well, even though he was just on a recent podcast with David Friedberg, and he said, I've met Elon a few times. We've had a few conversations. They're not best buds doing dinner parties all the time. Regardless, he was overlooked for that position. Okay. Then we go to find out all of the fighting, the stepping aways, the removal of nominations, everything had to do with Elon Musk's conflicts or concerns around the one big beautiful bill. Okay. Essentially, the math is not adding up for this man. I mean, I've taken a look slightly at the numbers. I'm not going to say that I'm an expert reading this bill in any sort of degree, but Elon Musk has quite a team of engineers and smart people who do math quite well. I mean, they literally send up and land rockets. the first people in the world to do this, right? They said there's two sides to this bill. One is essentially tax cutting, massive tax cuts. And on the other side is government spending cuts. Okay. So the tax cuts and the spending cuts should go like this, and it should balance out, and they should be both worth it. They're going to tighten the government, but they're also going to have tax cuts, which will be better for the people. However, that's not seemingly how it's being done. The massive tax cuts are way outweighing the spending cuts by a margin between $3.7 trillion of cuts to about $3.7 trillion of massive tax cuts to government spending cuts around 1.3 to 1.4 trillion. Elon Musk says this is anywhere between 2.4 to 2.5 trillion dollars added to government deficit over the next decade. Okay, so this is the problem that he's having. He thinks that there's a ton of wastefulness in this bill. It's absolutely disgusting. And Trump says the only reason why he's even remotely angry is that we're cutting EV spending, or EV subsidies. Now, I'm actually not a big believer of this. And the reason why I say this is that he's been consistent for years and years. All the way back in 2020, actually a surprise. A bunch of people didn't agree with Elon during these original comments. Now it's actually turning over to favor him in this debate. But this was from December of 2021. Okay. Take a look at what Elon Musk said about cutting, and you can already see it in the captions here.
We don't need the $7,500 tax credit. I would say, honestly, I would just can this whole bill. Don't pass it. That's my recommendation.
What about the support though for the?
Now, the bill that he's talking about is not the same bill, by the way. This is for a very separate bill that was happening all the way back in 2021. Okay, but the whole idea around saving or reducing these EV tax cuts, he said, let's just get rid of it. Now they go on to charging networks.
Charging network. I mean, there are parts of this bill. And no.
No, I mean, do we need support for gas stations? We don't. So there's no need for this for support for a charging network. I would delete it. Delete.
Okay. All right.
I'm literally saying get rid of all subsidies, but also for oil and gas. We don't need this.
By the way, he's saying that about this most recent bill as well, is that the proposed, cuts of EV subsidies are also not happening for oil and gas, even though he thinks that that's extremely unfair. Sanjay in chat also says that the tax cuts are also favoring the more well-off people. That is true as well. So, even whenever you look at the types of people who are being cut, it's not necessarily favorable. And this is making Democrats end up splitting between each other. This is making Republicans split between each other. And that's usually not the best thing that you want to see, right? So Elon Musk then went off, okay? Essentially saying, hey, call your Congress people, call your senators, whatever. We need to kill this bill. Like going full out, this is not what we need. And Trump is saying, hey, he's just being pissy that we're ending EV subsidies. And then Elon is now saying, well, you know what? Donald Trump's a pedophile. Not in those exact words per se, but I mean, like, pretty freaking close. The only reason why the Epstein files are not released is because Donald Trump is in them. Have a nice day, DJT. Holy crap. 117 million views. 117 million views. Okay. Now that had been suspected for some time, I think, even before this, that there were two camps of this. That one, he had been shunning Jeffrey Epstein for some time, and then other people said no. There was reports that he had been there and all this stuff. Who knows? Okay, I'm not here to speculate on that. But this is no longer a friendly discussion. That's essentially what I'm trying to show you from this. Lex Friedman even goes to talk about the friendliness of this debate, to even say, look, triple the security. Please be safe out there, brother. Your work at SpaceX, Tesla, XAI, and Neuralink is important for the world. Okay, this was under the comments about the Epstein files. This brings it back to why I think that it's very hard to be a Tesla investor sometimes, is that the key man risk for that business is huge. Okay. Elon is one of the most powerful people on earth. Now, I also think getting in a fight with DJT might be one of the opponents that you lose to. That's also the problem, right? Like whenever you run a space company and a social media network and all of these things could be threats to national security to some degree, or could be spun that way, right? And so I would not go up against the leader of the free world in terms of who has the bigger stick, because if you're living in the States, it's probably DJT. That's my own personal opinion. Maybe you guys have a different one there, but an all-out brawl like this, I don't agree with. Now, in terms of who's right, that's a different story. I'm definitely in the camp of Elon Musk. If the whole opinion of getting all of these smart, entrepreneurial, self-starting, essentially, well, just very successful people into the office this time, and this whole team Avengers, was to make some very significant change. And Elon Musk even shows off that President Trump in the past has, talked about potentially cutting the deficit and not continuing to add to the debt and furthering the problem. And that might be what is happening here, which is maybe not what Elon Musk had originally signed up for, or even the other members of that so-called party in a way. But yeah, and that's definitely what I'm about. Like, if I were to, now I'm not an American, I'm not even betting in this fight, but I would want significant changes to the overall deficits, stuff like this, things that even Jared Isaacman talked very clearly about being the NASA chief, which is why I think that he would be a great fit for there. But yeah, anyway. Either way, from a stock perspective, not a political perspective, is this good for Tesla? Okay. And I think it's unequivocally no. Stepping away from Trump does not win you back Democrats. Okay. I think that the very left-leaning people who were potentially looking to buy a Tesla or buy an electric vehicle, to watch Elon then get him elected, or get Donald Trump elected, is no longer going to then say, oh, now I'm very happy to buy a Tesla car now that he is stepping away due to a spending bill. I don't think so at all. Okay. And on the other side, the potential people that are very bullish on Tesla said, okay, well, there's literally two sides to this equation. So if the Democrats aren't going to buy the Teslas, the Republican, maybe super mega individuals will buy Teslas to support that team. But now you're kind of pushing away from those individuals as well, right? Which is, I think, where a large majority of the population actually lives, is somewhere in the middle. Okay, I could be wrong. I mean, some people are very left-leaning or right-leaning for their own beliefs, but I think for the vast majority of people, they have individual topics that they feel a certain way about, and that one individual party that selects a certain side of issues doesn't mean that an individual lines up with all of them, right? And this is why companies and CEOs need to stay completely apolitical. And it's why I loved Brian Armstrong so much. Like even during the whole woke stuff that was going on or any other event, he said that Coinbase was a completely mission-driven business. He does not care either side. Don't bring it to the office. Talk about crypto whenever you're in the office. That's what we're here to do. I think that that's how businesses work well. It's why I loved NVIDIA so much, and why I continue to bet so heavily on NVIDIA is because even whenever Jensen Huang disagrees so heavily with Elon or with Trump's administration about what they did for China sales, he still kissed the ring. Okay? He is sacrificing his own pride to support the shareholders of his business. Elon Musk, I think, has a larger vision in terms of looking at his wealth and saying, okay, but me having the largest company in a country that is going bankrupt will still be worth nothing. And so he's trying to fix larger issues, a debt issue. And I commend him for that. I don't commend every action that he's done to potentially look at that problem, but the overall idea of fixing $37 trillion worth of debt, I think, is an admirable one. But whenever you pick sides, especially sides that are polarizing, you're going to have massive down days in terms of your stock whenever you get political, and you're going to have even larger days in terms of missed sales whenever you are picking sides and choosing which people you do not like and which people you like. I think it has no place for business. So Tesla is down 14.26% at the end of the trading day today, making the last 3 months, which is roughly around whenever I made that video about selling Tesla stock and putting it all into, NVIDIA. And then everyone said that was the worst timing on earth. And I mean, yes, I could have gotten an extra $100 a share per share in my investing thing. But the thing about investing is that not only do you have to get your buys right, but you also have to get your sales right as well. It's extremely tough. Timing is imperfect for me, obviously. And the part that I was trying to get around was the massive key man risk that was associated with someone getting so heavily into politics, which we saw. And then on top of that, the valuation that I didn't think coincided with the opportunity just as a general business. And by the way, I like Tesla. I like their vision. I like their products. I think they can get into humanoid robots. The recent Morgan Stanley article about drones, I also think is a potential. I mean, Elon Musk, as long as he remains safe, will solve a lot of the world's largest problems. I'm a believer in that. And you guys don't have to, and that's also fine as well. We could still hang out. NVIDIA, on the other hand, is solving one of the world's largest problems. They're making chips that are accelerating artificial intelligence, which is going to push every single facet of every business forward at cheaper costs than the alternative, which would be potentially human labor. And it'll work 24/7 constantly, and they'll have a ton of sales there. I'm a big believer in them. I ended up selling out, and I can share my screen here. I ended up selling out of Tesla about 3 months ago, which for small periods of time, whenever Tesla was peaking and NVIDIA was not, I had made the wrong trade. Okay. If I were to buy back Tesla today and sell that position in NVIDIA, I will have made a great trade here today. So over the last 3 months, we're up about 4.5%, 4.8% for Tesla. And for NVIDIA, we're about 23%. So as of today, it's looking like a great trade for my portfolio. But could I have known that this was going to happen, that DJT and Elon would have a massive fallout? No. But I did know that he was very political and that there's key man risk there, and he is prone to say very loud things. And that was known. Either way, I think that there could be more to this fall if Donald Trump chooses to escalate the problems. And what I mean by that is potential regulation for robotaxi. Maybe that is not escalated all the way through. Like, by the way, NVIDIA's $500 billion estimated investments into America, Donald Trump came out and said, this is going to get every escalation, all the paperwork, permits, everything is all going to get flown through. They're going to be able to start setting up immediately. Okay. That could have happened for Tesla as well. I don't know if we're in the exact same position anymore. Nor do I think that the extreme political left and rights are in his camp anymore. I just worry about the investment. That's all. And there's a price that I'm willing to pay that makes up for a margin of safety for the risks that I'm outlining right here. But that's not at $1 trillion for a company that made $400 million in net income last quarter. That's not what you get. So is sales going to start to re-accelerate now for Tesla here in June? I would suggest no. I think Q1 was a disaster. I think Q2 is going to be a disaster. Is it permanent brand damage? No. Okay. I think that the media cycles are actually pretty quick. No one really talks about those riots anymore, and that was seemingly just a couple months ago. But there's a lot of risk associated with a very cool company, but baking in a lot of future assumptions, and that a lot of those things go right. Okay. Let's take some questions or any thoughts, maybe what I'm missing. Thought you were going to stream Broadcom today. Yes, sorry. I ended up getting very busy today and ended up not streaming. I haven't listened to it yet. Yeah. Brian Vader says he has burnt both ends of his customer base. Yeah, I mean, it is a shame. I could think of at least 10 stocks I'd rather take a chance on versus Tesla over the next 12 months. I want allocation into Tesla later on. I think that it's a company I want to bet on. And funnily enough, it's not real. Like, I mean, Elon Musk is someone that I want to have allocation towards. I think that he is a great entrepreneur, but he also is getting very loud and it drives me nuts. I mean, I think that people it's not that Jensen Huang doesn't have strong political views. He clearly does. It's vocalizing it to your customer base, to other nations, other area. Like it never does you favors. Okay, so yeah, that is the big risk. Do I want access to fully autonomous vehicles that can be turned on tomorrow? And, you have hundreds of thousands of cars that can go and pick up people if they download an app. And the person that wants you to download that app has hundreds of millions of followers, and humanoid robotics come after that and everything. I mean, I'm not brain dead. I'm aware of the possible upside. But it's very hard for investors to assume downside until you literally see it. I mean, there's not many people that would have predicted this type of fallout, okay, between a very strong opponent who would be DJT. I mean, he is the president of the United States. I don't care what you guys think about him. He has a lot of powers on his side. If he wants Tesla or Elon Musk's businesses to suffer based on his decisions, that can happen. Okay. So yeah, I don't like a loud CEO. I like a smart CEO. I don't like a loud CEO. Now, what's very interesting, actually, the second largest company that I hold, which is Spotify, is a very smart CEO. And it's almost like no one even knows who Tobias Lutke even is, right? Like, who is he? What's his political views? Now, actually, he's been more political online towards certain political parties here in Canada, but he is one of the smartest and best entrepreneurs of our entire lifetimes, and doesn't really make a large presence, which I think is good. Rivian's about to be the most subsidized company in the world. Yeah, I mean, to a company that is a like internal combustion engine, full self-driving vehicle, like a gas self-driving vehicle, you might have a good shot. Yeah, but does he do podcasts? Toby Lutke does a lot of podcasts, actually. He does. Noto is a million times more investable than Elon, and I'm not a Noto fan. I don't know about a million times. I think that they're like, yeah. Strong political views can also make opposition also be very strong. People can say that Elon Musk is the worst person in history or something like this, which I don't necessarily align with. But whenever you have such strong political views and you publicize those, you also have strong opposition. And that's not good for Musk either. Musk needs to know the power of restraint, quiet strength. Yeah, no, I completely agree. See, Carp is very political, but it's actually turned out to do great things. Also helps that he has a very strong product as well. Which, I mean, to be fair, Tesla's valuation is also peaking. Like that's for sure. Let's see. What are some other yeah, they lost the Europeans. Yeah, no, it's true. And to China, because China's actually beating them more on a product side than just a political side. But yes. Let's see what other questions. I wasn't looking at the chat too much earlier. Yeah, it doesn't seem like a lot of people. I actually expected or thought there was going to be some more Trump supporters in the chat. Clearly, I do. It's hard, right? Because I get a lot of my information from X, and that's heavily. It's crazy that the two people that are fighting literally own social media networks. So it's heavily curated to be those types of people that are on those platforms. That Elon's platform will have lots of Elon supporters, and Truth Social would have a lot of DJT supporters. And I'm not on Truth Social because there's like 1 million users, and that's not really what I'm looking for. Is a small social media network that doesn't really sound like an advantage. I want, many users. Tanner, your whole Discord is left-leaning? I don't think that's true. I mean, I think that whenever people have things to say, especially against Donald Trump, it's usually very loud. But I would say we have a pretty good mix of each side. Kelly said, I ran a poll today on X and 80% of people took Elon's side. I mean, I would as well. Now, do I think that Elon has done nothing but right in government? I mean, Doge seemingly is a pretty big miss. But I mean, a miss in terms of what degree? What did it cost them in terms of saving all of that money? Probably not much. I mean, in terms of being a net benefit, it was probably there. Was it the $1 trillion save that everyone suspected it to be? No. But hopefully that stays in place and continues to just modernize the technology. There just wasn't as much fraud, I think, as what they thought was going to be found. But still, modernizing solutions in government should stay top of mind, and they shouldn't be taking file folders and putting them in a mountain. Yeah, just stuff like that blows my mind. What's Tesla's current moat and main drivers for upside? Well, they've got a massive network of cars that have the same technology that's needed for full self-driving. The thing that they need is software updates. better actual like tagging of what objects are and predictions of where they're going to be, these sort of things. So the day that they do get full self-driving, completely safe, which I'm already seeing a lot of reports saying that they're doing like very, very long rides, zero disengagements at all. So it sounds close. And whenever that market wants to turn on, it can turn on to hundreds of thousands, if not millions of vehicles in a day. That's a moat. And there's not a company that even comes in second place. People go, oh, well, Waymo's on today. Yes, and I'm betting on Waymo, but Waymo has like 1,500 cars on the road. Okay, so Tesla could turn on, at 100x, 1,000x larger whenever they decide to turn on. I think that's what people are considering their moat, which I mean, it is a real one, but also I don't think it still even pales in comparison to the valuation that people are putting on that. So, yeah. If the poll was on DJT's platform, it would be the opposite. Yeah, I think so. I completely agree. Tesla cultists on X saying that this is a planned controversy, as if Trump would agree. Yeah, no, 100%. He would not be saying, oh, yeah, bring up the fact that I'm on the Epstein files to ignite this controversy. I don't know anyone who uses Truth Social. I don't think I do either. But also, I spend a lot of my time on X or YouTube. So, yeah. Who knew Elon and Trump would break up before SoFi got level 1 options? I know, that's a true shame. I have to disengage my Tesla all the time. I mean, that's pretty interesting. I wouldn't have thought that. Are you in the United States and driving on the latest like 13.2 what do you call it? Software update? FSD? Yep. All right. Whoa, cowboy. Talk some new stocks, Tanner. What are you buying? Not much as of late. I mean, valuations are getting higher, so I haven't been in a rush to buy as much as I have been in the past. I'd say that my cash position is growing, but that won't always be the case. I mean, I still am researching constantly, like new companies and stuff. So I might take positions in certain things. I mean, Nebius might be on that list a little bit. I don't know. We can have time to think about new positions. Yeah, I'm always questioning whenever people say free money. But yeah. My dang financial advisor isn't buying. I guess I'll grow my cash position. I'm not saying that. I'm just I don't as much want to buy Nvidia at 140 as I did at 120. But opportunities for stocks open up all the time. I mean, I might put an allocation into Tesla in the next month if this controversy continues. I might see, constant 10% down days is going to get to a valuation that I think is appropriate pretty dang soon. So I was talking to Stephen Fiorillo. He's like, do you think this thing gets down to 100? Like, what is this could be a massive, massive problem. Let's see if FSD goes wrong in June. I mean, there's opportunities to open up great buying positions here. And whenever I say that I'm adding cash, I mean, guys, I'm not trying to, this is not a brag or saying anything like this, but the amount that I'm making from YouTube doesn't pale in comparison to the amount that I have in my investing account. So the cash grows slowly. It's not like, oh, I'm at 20% cash now because I just got a couple paychecks. That's not how it works. So my cash position is still extremely small. I'm almost entirely equities, but you know, I'm just not. I haven't bought in the last like week or a bit. You know, and someone donated to me recently. Said, "Can I buy SoFi stock?" I bought 15 shares of SoFi with this, you know, donation. I mean, that's as much as I've done in the last little bit. I have never met such a grammar freak. I'm sure I said something wrong in there that Kelly's going to point out to me. Kelly, I knew you were a teacher's pet whenever you went to school. It's annoying, okay? I don't care. Everyone knew what I meant. What was the other one that she always gets me for? What's the other one? Thoughten? Something like that. Don't come after me, Kelly. Equity rich, cash poor. I wouldn't say that. Boughten. Yeah. Boughten's a word, okay? And if it's not, let's make it a word. You did say it wrong twice? My bad. Did you know what I meant? Now I'm thinking about everything that just comes out of my mouth that's like I'm not even... Anyway. Bought's a word, okay? I have bought. But Boughton. Okay, it's not... I get it. I understand. Can we see YouTube spun out to its own IPO out of Google? I mean, I think if there's a breakup, we might see that, but I don't think that they'd do that on their own. I shorted Tesla after Musk's first tweet. I'm up 20%. It's awesome, man. You would be very famous on X if you verified those trades. But, and I don't know you, JS, but can't be verified. You're literally a genius, but when it comes to the English language, I swear, it's definitely not my strong suit. My girlfriend always did very well in like, you know, English class and not as well in mathematics. And I always did well in mathematics and not as well in English. So we have our strengths. Whatever. Boughton sounds like an English football team. Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, okay, let's get ready. All right? Hold on a sec. I have to prepare the next segment. Hold on. Make sure that is wrong. Okay. That is wrong, so I need to fix it. We still there? Okay. And it's done. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, if we go to youtube.com/future investing or whatever the heck my tag is, I had just posted a new video. Before Chime IPOs, should SoFi investors be worried? Now, that's not a great clip. Come on now. But we looked through all the data that Chime has, and it's absolutely fascinating comparing this to SoFi. I just made this video public. Hopefully you guys enjoy, but that's it for me. I'm out of here. Let me know if that... I've learned from SoFi. That's a cross-sell right there. Let me get you guys on the second video. But let me know in the comments if you guys like it and what you guys would like to hear next. Bye for now.